Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 65, overcast. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 46.
When is the last time you considered your pet's oral health? Hi, this is Dr. Seuster at Covenant Animal Clinic in Clinton. A pet's dental health is vitally important to their overall health. Learn about our dental services by clicking the Covenant Animal Clinic icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
By leveraging sustainable carbon management solutions like Navigator CO2's Heartland Greenway, ethanol facilities can make substantial progress toward carbon reduction objectives. Learn more on how they're partnering with ethanol producers across the Corn Belt. Click their icon at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County, and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus, streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app. Plus, hear a best of Clinton sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10. All brought to you by Love It Once More Thrift Store. Keith Wade, your country financial representative, and our exclusive sponsor for our Player of the Game, Serve Pro of Hyatt DeWitt Counties, the leader in cleaning, restoration, and construction.
Hey everybody, Buddy Wilson here, your new country financial agent in Clinton. It's no secret that rates are going up industry-wide. With weather challenges nationwide last year and rate increases held out due to COVID pandemic, carriers, including Country Financial, are raising rates. While we can't do anything about the rate increases, we can soften the blow by revising your existing coverage to see how we can help. And remember, we offer personal service you can expect and deserve from a local agent. Come see me, Buddy Wilson, your new country financial agent in Clinton, where personal service is priority number one.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
You're finding Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. In studio with me this morning is Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Seth.
Thanks for coming out and talking with us here today. How are allergies for you? I know we're talking allergies and such. How you feeling these days?
The last 3-4 weeks was tough, but for whatever reason, Monday morning it just broke. All of a sudden, my mind is clear and I'm ready to go.
There you go. Now, do you mind if I ask what your allergy routine is? You know, the treatment.
I do the Navage, clean out the nose first thing in the morning. I was doing the Claritin D. For weeks.
Yeah.
And each time I would try and get off that, it would remind me you're not done yet.
Sure.
But for whatever reason on Monday, maybe it's and a lot of liquid, a lot of water, trying to keep flushing. Maybe it's probably because all the flowers have dropped finally, you know, and the trees have budded as much. Whatever reason, everything's aligned to be for me the end of the worst of the allergy season.
Hopefully for sure. Well, and I know I heard from you last at the Clinton City Council meeting last week, where your budget was approved by the council, and you know, some exciting things in this budget. Paul, going to be spending a lot of money at the hospital, and let's start there. What are you spending money on here this year?
Well, we got a budget approved that is a budget that projects another profit 8 years in a row. And we have finished fiscal year 23 with another solid profit and putting more money in the bank. And as a result, we are able to have a capital budget that's got $5 million in it. And all of the items in that capital budget will not require any borrowing. It will be from cash that we've been able to save and invest over the last 8 years. So that's a good piece of news. But what we will be investing in, we've often talked in the past about state-of-the-art equipment and technology, like our CT unit that was purchased 1.5 years ago. But now our largest item is an upgrade to our electronic medical records system. So the system that we have is 10 years old and still doing its job. It's a workhorse, but with the existing company, it's called Meditech. We're going from their oldest version to their newest version, which will bring us into state-of-the-art technology for electronic medical records. So what is important about that? So now the larger health systems have this same technology where you can access your medical records online. We're not at that stage. We need to get there. Regulations promulgated by the federal government say in the very near future, we need to be able to provide within 3 days electronic health records to our patients. And this investment will allow us to do that.
Sure.
It'll also allow us to have one central database where all of the testing, diagnostic testing, all of your patient visits will be on one health record, so that the providers, when you come in and see your doctor, they'll be spending less time on the computer trying to search for data about you and more time asking you about how are you and what can we do to help you today.
Sure. Now, with that system, Paul, you were telling me before we got started that it's not only going to streamline things for the patients, but like when they come in for scans with the newer machines, like I know like mammogram and things of that nature. You've got a lot of new equipment that this system is going to just integrate right in with, and it's going to really streamline things for the hospital. How about that?
You're right. Right now, a provider or the provider's nurse has to search different databases to get your mammography results or any of your diagnostic testing results. Look at your past medical history and things like that. But again, it'll all be on one database, and as a result, the provider and the nurse will be spending less time clicking on the computer and not looking at you, and instead spending more time with the patient.
Sure. How about security? That probably a lot of folks are weary of this. And maybe even the older folks, as technology continues to advance and things become easier to access. That obviously makes things more prone to security breaches and things of that nature. Let's speak to that for a moment.
So these new, more advanced systems have more protections to protect against hacking. And even the best systems, you'll hear on the radio, you'll read in the medical journals and in the major newspapers about how large health systems are having data breaches. So it's not 100% protection, but it is a much higher level of protection against data breaches, because you often have on your radio station Social Security warning against hacks to the Social Security system, and how seniors should protect against that so that they don't get your Social Security checks. Well, what the bad guys like to do with medical records is get into your medical records so that they can use your information to bill insurance companies fraudulently. We have to help protect against that. And that's one of the reasons we're investing in a more advanced electronic medical record system.
Absolutely. So it is secure and those sorts of things. Now, how will patients be able to access this? What's that process look like?
It's going to our patient portal and at Warner Hospital and Health Services, and being able to schedule visits in the future online. And it's with that same portal, being able to communicate with your provider, and also with being able to access your medical records and your providers at other specialty clinics and other hospitals that right now write in and ask for a copy of your medical records because you're seeing some other, maybe an oncology specialist that we don't have or something. That can all be done within minutes instead of days trying to get medical records. Transferring, they can request us, we can transfer records to them.
Folks that are out there may worry, I'm not good with all this technology stuff. I just not good with the smartphone or the computer. Can I still call in and make my appointments? Can I still call to request my records go to whichever specialist or doctor I may have to see elsewhere? How about that?
We will always have a real person answering the phone and assisting you with making those kind of provisions for your services.
There you go. What I missed there, Paul, in that conversation about the technology piece of this?
You capsulized it well.
Again, Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services, our guest in studio here for this morning. Also, going to see some ground breaking for some things, Paul, in this budget for the next year. What do we have? What are you working on capital wise on the infrastructure, the actual building itself?
So you're right. We just talked about improved patient engagement, but we also have two large projects that have to do with improved patient access. And an improved and larger emergency room has been a long time waiting, and this was approved by the city council. We'll be increasing the size of the emergency room by almost 50% by taking over that old business office space that is behind the existing ER now, and converting it to larger. There will be a larger waiting room. There will be 2 additional exam rooms. There will be an isolation room, and overall we'll have improved security, improved staff's efficiencies, and provide a better customer experience. So patients won't be so close to each other in the emergency room. So this project has been approved by the state, and very soon, in the next couple of weeks, there will be bids. Since we are a city-owned hospital, we are required to bid out the services to contractors. And so this project will start bidding very soon. And within 2 months, we should have some approval on who's going to start the work. And by August, definitely, we should be starting construction. The emergency room will take longer than some of our other construction because we can never shut down the ER. It has to be open 24 hours a day, 365 days. So we'll have to do this in stages. So it will take a year to get this done.
Sure.
But
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But at the same time, we will also be working on our west parking lot, new west parking lot that will allow for access to the new specialty clinic entrance on the west side. So here you'll have improved patient access, where people that need to go to the specialty clinic, have appointments with our specialists, will no longer be required to come through the front door and walk through the hospital. They'll have immediate access from the west side. So the specialty providers, the specialists, will be able to park there. The patients will be able to park there and have immediate access that is protected from the weather, and will have ramps that'll allow for wheelchairs to roll into the specialty clinic.
For sure. So, and then the parking lot piece of that as well is going to be going on. What's that project about?
So that will start also, the bidding for that also will start in the next 60 days. And we will probably have that parking lot done before fall is complete. And then we'll be able to start working on the entrance. So by next spring, we should have that project complete. And so, yes, there will be a lot of coordination going on between the ER construction and then on the west side, having the new parking lot and the new entrance for the specialty clinic being built. It's going to a lot of due diligence, a lot of attention to detail here in construction for the next year.
There's a lot of things going on all at once, particularly on the west side of the facility where you've got the specialty clinic. How much is that going to impact, the patient waiting experience, the patient care experience with the doctor themselves or the specialists themselves? How much is that going to impact those things?
That part, as opposed to the emergency room, which will require a lot more coordination internally. On the west side, it's something that's not there now. And so it will have no impact on existing specialty clinic services. It'll just, the specialty clinic patients will be able to see all the work going on outside the window while they're waiting to see their specialist.
Sure.
And then someday next year, they'll have a new entrance.
Talk to me a little bit about the new entrance. What's that going to look like? You were telling me going to be nice and protected, things like that. What can we anticipate with this new entrance? What are you hoping for there?
It'll be wide enough to have the widest wheelchair easily rolled in and not have to navigate stairs. It'll be, electronic push button, as the larger hospitals have, so that anybody who's helping wheel in a wheelchair can just push the button. The doors will automatically open, and the patients and their family will be protected from the weather. So the convenience of all that is something that we haven't had in the past, and really looking forward to that.
For sure. So parking lot as well going to be going on at the same time. Paul, what did I miss as it relates to projects? The budget. We can talk more about the budget on the other side of the break, get into some of the other things in it, but just capital projects itself, what did we miss there that you want to talk about?
Well, actually, one unique aspect of this west parking lot, it's not big in Clinton yet, but we will have electric charging stations for electric cars.
There you go.
And that's through a partnership with Baum Chevrolet. They're providing the equipment and helping us, and we have built that into the construction plans.
You see some Teslas around and a few others.
You do, and the important thing for us is the doctors, the providers that we're trying to recruit to be specialists. Some of them now have electric vehicles, and more of them, let's say the ones that live in Champaign-Urbana, there's a lot more electric vehicles there. To attract them, we need to have this electric charging station.
Absolutely.
So that's preparing for the future.
There you go. Look at that. Forward thinking there, Paul.
Indeed.
Like it a lot. I'll tell you what, let's take a time out, come back with some more. Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services, in studio with us. More to come on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network. We start the day in the red with corn, beans, and wheat. May corn 633.5 down 8. July corn down 11 and a quarter, 589 3/4. December new crop 536 and a quarter down 7 and a quarter. May beans opening 1429 down 7. July beans down 7.5, 1407 and a quarter. And November new crop 1262 and a half down 4 and a quarter. May Chicago wheat 612.5 down 14 3/4. July wheat down 14 3/4, 627 and a quarter. September wheat 638 3/4 down 15 and a half. May bean meal on this Thursday starting 420, 240 down 360. May bean oil down 39 cents, 51.69. The opening numbers for this Thursday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
If you think a new or used car is in your future, the time is now to call the Baum Chevrolet Buick sales team here in Clinton or Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. With a professional sales consultant in your corner, the vehicle search is easy. Meet with our sales team to go over your wants and needs. We'll start the search and do all the legwork for you. With so many models and options to choose from, we can help you get the information you need. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
At Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton, we're ready for warmer weather. So we have our shorts for the whole family out. Not only that, we have them on sale. So come on in and find your treasure. This is Connie reminding you to check us out on Facebook or DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback. Do you know what Utterback Real Estate offers for free?
Free hugs?
No, free market analysis on your property so you know what it's worth.
I kind of like free hugs.
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Get your free market analysis by clicking the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services, in studio with us. And Paul, I know you broke the news with us when you were in last month, and excited to have the Hospital Health Fair return this year. And you have a date, you have times. When are we putting the health fair on here?
So May 18th is a Thursday, and it will be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And we're doing something different this year. We've always had the health fair before COVID in September. And we decided to shake it up a little bit because we were anxious to get it started. And we've looked at the flow of the people that live in Clinton. They typically leave after high school closes, grammar school closes. They all go on vacations, and then we try and get them interested in the fall. But it's just before apple and pork. So since we haven't had a health fair because of COVID in 3 years since 2019, let's try and get the jump on them before they leave town. Let's get everybody interested in what we're doing before they leave town, so they can think about these things, think about their healthcare needs when they come back, and know that we're here for them in the fall.
When those allergies and those cold and flus start to come back around.
About the new flu season and all that stuff, and getting your flu shots in the fall. And so we are doing it on May 18th, and there will be not just our departments out in the parking lot talking about their services, but the typical array of vendors that provide services, both behavioral health, other hospitals, their health services, OSF, home health.
Why is it important to highlight them and give them
because they are our partners.
Okay.
There are things that we don't do that other hospitals do better, and we refer to them. So home health services, behavioral health services, all the different providers that provide that. Some people have health products that they'd like to, this is their chance to highlight and get out to the public. CBD products that in the past weren't something that we were allowed to do because it wasn't legal, but we can do that now. So there's a lot of different services, chiropractic and other services we don't provide that are in town. This is an opportunity for them to come and provide, show their products to the public. And so we provide food at these services. We usually have the fire department or something to attract kids. We try and provide, I'm not sure exactly what all those items are at this year's health fair, but I know it's always interesting enough to keep people attracted and visit the different services for a couple hours. So it will be 5 to 7.
Very good. So look forward to that. That's May 18th, right?
May 18th, Thursday night, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Should be a good one. Hopefully the weather holds off and we can have a nice health fair this year, Paul.
Yes. So we have our providers that will be there. We have a new provider, Dr. Minert. And so this will be an opportunity for people to meet her too.
Yeah, you were telling me you really want to get her more introduced to the community. Probably the business expo was a good opportunity to introduce her, but this will be a good opportunity as well for her to be in front of the community and start to build up that client base and such.
That's correct. She started November 1, and she's building her practice, but in spring, what a great time to really introduce her to the community.
For sure. Paul, I got 3 minutes here with you this morning. Where else do you want to take the conversation today?
Well, I just want to remind everyone that we've talked in the past about our state-of-the-art technology, improvements we made in the past with our CT units and our DEXA scan and our new lab, our new pharmacy. But I want to remind everybody that we also have less waiting time. We're state-of-the-art technology with less waiting time than the larger hospitals in Decatur or Bloomington, and yet it's close to home. And so you don't spend 4 hours in our emergency room waiting for services, or 6 or 8 hours like you do at some of the larger hospitals.
Sure.
You can get them pretty quick. You can get good customized service. Same thing with our family medicine. Trying to see a provider there, you can get an appointment. You don't have to be told it's going to be 3 months before you can have an appointment. So we need to remember these things. What is the unique aspects of that hospital in town, and specifically Warner Hospital, is less waiting time, but the same state-of-the-art technology that the larger hospitals have, close to home.
Sure, and you've been really focused on that technology piece the last several years, getting those updates and making sure that your equipment is as good as theirs, and I know, was it the mammography machine that came in that it was the as good as the Northwestern Hospital up in Evanston, if I'm not mistaken.
Mammography machine and the CT unit is the exact same one that Northwestern uses.
Yeah, so
right,
some real high quality stuff there as well.
For us to be able to attract the specialists to come to our specialty clinics, when they say you should have some kind of cardiology test here at Warner Hospital, they want to know that they're recommending their patients to access the best technology.
And they want access to that as well.
That's
So
correct.
that gives them an opportunity to come in and utilize those things. So, Paul, 1 minute here with you for this morning. Where do folks go to learn more about, say, the health fair or the services that the hospital offers? Where should they go? What's the best place?
Of course, warnerhospital.org, but our Warner Hospital Facebook is well attended. A lot of people visit that to see what's the most current activities going on.
Sure. Paul, good to have you in as always. Thanks for making time for us. Paul Skowron, CEO of Warner Hospital and Health Services, my guest in studio. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. And of course, we stream live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news on the way on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHO